Well, all right. It is Wednesday, April 24th. It's just about to be 10 a.m. here on the West Coast, and I've wrapped up for the day. 2-0 day, and not a bad day at all for me. Got the opening trade, as you can see here. I'm now 11-0 with the Alp trade, and 2-0 for today. I got one other trade with my BS system, just a quick scalp for 11 ticks, and yeah, just kind of like a cool, easy day, slow and steady, um, and just working on getting these accounts to where they need to be. So starting with the PA, traded it with the open trade, and I've been including it in the group of accounts that I'm trading this with, the setup with, and we're just about 670 away from a payout. So I'm just going to continue using the open trade on that account, and one contract at a time. So I'm making just over $100 at a time. So another what, 7 trades or so, and I should be there. So we'll see how that goes, and as well as evaluation 36. This account I got specifically to test out the Alp trade at the open, and it's now 11 days in a row with wins, 2 contracts at a time, up 2,478. So if I get a win on this tomorrow, if this was a PA account, it would have already qualified for a payout in 12 days. So just to show kind of, this is a quick, small example of why this is working for Alpine. You don't have to go big. You can make $200 a day, and 12 days later, if I get one more win, this would be qualified for a payout. It's obviously an evaluation, so I need to keep going to 53,000, which was just a couple more trades. So we'll see what happens with that as we move forward. And then account 34, I've been trading the open on this one as well, and less than 400 away from passing that account. Here we are 500 away from passing this account, and 29, just a little over 600 away from passing that account. So things are in good shape. I haven't gotten a trade on PA8 in some time here, just lower volume of trades this week, and less time trading the past 2 days. So, I would like to get more trades for this, but I'm just being patient. And account PA7, been digging this one out of the hole. It was less than $200 away from a drawdown. Just trading one contract at a time and getting basically $50 at a time per scalp. And now I've got it up to, what did I say? It was 556. So I've got 700 in drawdown. I'm going to keep trading one contract on it, make about $50 at a time per scalp. And then once I'm up to 850 in drawdown, I think I can raise that to 2 contracts and try to make a push on it. So let's get into the trades real quick, and then we'll go from there. All right, so this is the 1-minute chart, and this is the New York Open trade that I've been doing recently. This was the 11th day. Have not lost on it yet. And this trade was just really easy. I was on the chart by about 620, and this trade I do not do on my live stream. I don't start the live stream till 7. And again, just out of respect, not trying to show the trade on my live stream. So anyway, price was moving up. It was really like pushing hard before the market even opened, leading right up into it, and had plenty of room to the highs. And quite honestly, I didn't even put much consideration into where I would put my short entry. It was just so clearly going to be good for the open trade. To me, I just wanted to be above this wick here. And so you can see this was my entry, and got out in seconds. It was really fast and easy. And I never even, when I put my orders on, I put them really high and low to start the day. And then once it gets closer and closer to the open, I then move them into position. I never even moved my short order up into position. I just moved my buy order down, and just very simple, easy trade. An easy 22 ticks, and I took it on 4 accounts: PA6, evaluation 33, 34, and 36. So you can see the profit there. And I just want to say, since I'm on the open trade at the moment, yesterday was a great example of, like, if you don't know how to do the trade the way that Alpine does it, or if you're trying to do something slightly different, you could really just end up taking a losing trade when it turns into a winning trade. So for anyone that remembers my review yesterday, I got top ticked into a long, literally the very top tick of the candle of the wick, as if it was the top of this wick. And then the price went against me immediately, and on the same bar. And, me being in for 2 contracts, where it went to, I was in no danger. I actually, I thought I was even like $1,000 in the drawdown. I wasn't even that much in the drawdown when I looked back at my video. I was like, I think that the most was around 800 in drawdown. So I had plenty of drawdown out of my 2,500 and was nowhere close to being in danger on the trade. And even then, I added a contract at a kind of point where I thought there should be or could be a bounce. Took advantage of that, got a quick 4-point scalp on my added contract, just the way Alpine does it with his trades. So I've watched what he does, and I've folded it into what I can do. And, he's never taught me how to do it. I've just kind of observed and practiced it in playback, and it worked beautifully. I got a 4-point scalp on that extra contract yesterday. And then it just went right back up and went on to work yesterday for my original profit target. And I got a little bit extra on the trade, and it was a great trade. And, I guess last night I went and I saw, I keep talking about this lady recently who started started showing the opening trade, and really was just like trying to, like, as if she's like revealing something. She found the secret sauce and she knows how to do it. She figured it out and she's going to release it to the world. And because Alpine doesn't want to show every little detail about what he's doing, that she's going to fill the void and put it out there and be the savior for all the people that want to know how to do the trade, and which is all ridiculous. And really, her videos are just clickbait. And yesterday, her video proves the point. And I just want to make this point because it really irritates me to see what she's done using Alpine's name in the title to get people to search for him and find her and click on her video. And where she has, she's basically a channel like me. I get very small amount of views, and she took advantage of the fact that this was, she caught wind of the fact that this opening trade was becoming a big deal, and Alpine was making a lot of money on it. And she doesn't watch him. It's clear she doesn't watch him. She hasn't followed him. She really put no time or effort into figuring out what really does Alpine do with the trade, right? And so she puts up a couple of videos with his name, gets thousands of views. I think that's what her goal was. She wanted thousands of views and grow her channel, and that's what she's trying to do. And it's really just clickbait. And the reason why she's doing it is because there's a lot of new people coming into the future space from Forex because of all the problems in Forex with the prop firms and everything else that's been going on. And so people are looking to futures now, and trying to figure out how to trade. And so obviously all the newbies to futures go to YouTube and look up and try to find people that they can learn how to trade futures, what's working for other people. And so she's taking advantage of those two things happening at the same time: the Alpine thing blowing up, this trade working really successfully for him, and the fact that there's all these newbies coming into the space. And they're looking for Alpine, right? They're looking for those kinds of strategies. And so she kind of like presents it as like, I figured it out. I'm going to show you how to do it. And she has no idea. She doesn't know Alpine's philosophy. She doesn't know how he applies multi-facets of his strategies into what he does with the opening trade. And so, her newest video showing the trade just shows it. For one, she's only taking the trade on sim account. She has no history of taking the trade. She's never taken the trade on evaluations, let alone funded accounts, let alone any kind of live cash account. She's shown any kind of win streak or shown that she's successful with the trade, but yet somehow she thinks that she can make YouTube videos, use his name, get views, and show all these new people and take advantage of them, really, that they're clicking on her to find out the strategy. And she really doesn't understand the strategy. So she showed her trade yesterday and she got top ticked like me into the long. She was even lower than I was. I was literally the last tick. And my entry yesterday, I was 2 ticks higher. I went back and watched my video. I was actually 2 ticks higher. And then right before, the open happened, I moved it 2 ticks down, and that was 1 tick too many down, and I got entered into the trade for a top tick. But if you understand the strategy, first of all, a lot of people are trying with extra contracts because they think, oh, well, I don't want to make just this amount of money. Like for me, I'm making $212 on the trade per account. They want more than that. They're it's like you have this thing. It's like, okay, well, if it works so good, I want more than just 212. I want whatever it is, right? So people are adding contracts, doing more contracts, and people are adjusting how many ticks they're going for. So, there's a guy that's streaming the trade that apparently used to be friends with Alpine. That Alpine, it seems, taught him how to do the trade. He's going for 15 ticks, but he does more contracts. This lady that's, I'm going to just refer to her as Clickbait. I don't know what she's doing. She's just making up a whole thing. She doesn't even really understand what Alpine's doing. But she was doing more contracts, and she's trying to use a stop, right? And not use the account as the risk management, which is like the core of what Alpine's strategy is. So she's in the trade. She gets top ticked like me. She's in for long, and it starts going against her. She's in a sim account, and what does she do? She exits the trade. She takes a $1,500 loss, and then moments later, of course, the trade turns around and ends up working, and she could have had a winning trade. So it's just the prime example of her ignorance and how the trade works and why Alpine is so hugely successful with this trade. It's because of more than just the technical aspect of where he puts his entries. It's more than that. It's everything he does. It's how he uses prop firms and the accounts as the risk management. He'll use the whole account as his stop. And it's about doing lower contracts so that if the trade does go against you, you have room for the drawdown to absorb that, and you have room to add contracts to work your way out of it if you need to, if you must. And so it's a packaged kind of thing, what Alpine's opening trade really is. And I don't think a lot of people really understand the real value of what he does. I've tested it for myself, and over 100 trades, I'm 98% with the strategy. He never taught me. I don't know him directly. I'm in his Discord. I watch his YouTube. I never asked him to teach me or show me how to do the trade. And as you can see, I'm 11-0 on Apex, just starting to use the trade. And it's because I've been watching him since like June of 2023, and I've seen him progress, and I've seen him adjust what he's doing on that opening trade. And I've seen how he adds contracts to his scalps. And I've seen the way he uses his prop firm accounts as the whole account is the risk. And it's all of those things combined that make the strategy a 98% strategy. You start tweaking it, messing with it. This other guy is trading 5 contracts. When the trade went against him yesterday, he was within like a tick of liquidating his account because he's trading 5 contracts. And he thinks that he's lowering the risk by going for only 15 ticks. He's lowered the profit target. So he's getting less per contract per trade, but he's upping the contracts. But in reality, when you up the contracts, you're eating up more of your drawdown when it goes against you. So you're actually raising the risk, and you're making the probability of the trade less, not more. I don't think people really understand it. So, look, I'm still early on in my journey using the trade, but I've got a great start, 11-0. We'll see how that develops over time. But based on my back testing, I should be able to win 98 out of 100. We'll see if that happens or not on the Apex accounts, but that's what it looks like. If it's not 98, maybe it's 97, maybe it's 96, but it should be up there. And the way I've started out on it, it's proving out. So having said all that, don't go to people like Clickbait. Don't go watch her video and think that you're going to know how to do this trade. Don't just start trading it on your Apex accounts. Like, figure out a way to back test it or forward test it. I mean, she's forward testing it on Sim, so I'll give her that. You know, she's forward testing it and she's saying she's on Sim. So there's no, you know, she's not being devious in that way. But I think it's pretty obvious that she's just clickbait. She's just getting views, and that's what she's all about. And look, I could do that. Look, I'm being successful with the trade. I'm 11-0 with it on the Apex accounts, and you know, I can make videos. I can show playbacks of me doing the trade on video and showing the 100 trades that I've taken, you know, and I've only lost 4 times out of over 110 trades. But that's not what I'm here for. This channel is not about the opening trade. It's just an extra tool that I'm using to try to become a successful and profitable trader. I've learned the trade. I appreciate that what Alpine has put out there in terms of his philosophies and the way he's trading and what's made him successful. And I'm learning from that, just from observing and watching, right? And I'm using my own ingenuity to apply it to my own trading. And I've tested the hell out of it. And now I'm putting it to practice, and it's working for me. And I think it's all of the things that Alpine does combined that makes it a 98% trade. If you start messing with it, it's not going to be a 98% trade anymore. Who knows what it is? I mean, maybe it is, but maybe it's not, because you're tweaking it and doing different things. So for the people that are trying to create the bots, trying to, you know, change what ticks you're going for, change the amount of contracts you're using and go in bigger contracts. What you're really doing ultimately is you're actually lowering the probability of the trade for yourself. And meanwhile, Alpine is going to continue to crush it with the trade. And I'm more likely, since I'm trying to stick closer to his philosophy on the trade, right now it's proving out that I'm going to be closer to what his probabilities have been. And that's the way it's going to be. So that's all I'm going to say about that for now. I'm going to move on. But yeah, for people that went bigger contracts, like you blew up your accounts yesterday, for sure. For people that's following this lady, Clickbait, she's showing you how to turn a winning trade into a losing trade, as evidenced by her trade yesterday. Now today's trade was super simple. There was a lot of momentum. It was really just, it wasn't even like a breakout trade. It was really just a momentum trade, and it was easy as easy can be. So we'll see what kind of video Clickbait puts out there for that today. And I'm sure the other guy, you know, he seems to skip some days. He thinks some days like you can't trade it. For me, what I've seen is every day you can trade it. You know, you can trade it every day. It's an everyday thing. There's not really much of a reason not to trade it, unless you just see that there's no volatility at the open and you're in the trade and nothing's happening. Then maybe you want to get out of the trade and do that. But you don't know until the volatility of the open kicks in anyway, I think. So having said all that, let's move on to trade number 2 and then get this wrap-up video completed. 1 second here. All right. So, and then for anyone that has followed me or does not follow me, you may not know that my regular strategy, which I refer to as a BS strategy, is I look for tick charts where every second entry on the chart works for my profit target. And I look for 3 or 4 of those charts. And those are the charts that I trade with. And if a chart picks up a losing second entry along the way, whether I take it or not, I stop trading the chart. And I will trade that chart until I either get myself a loss or the chart takes a loss on the trade I didn't take. And then I'll throw that chart away and continue with the other charts I have. And I stop for the day either when I run out of charts or when it's approximately 12 to 12:30 Eastern. I'll just call it a day. What I found for my strategy is that as the day continues to proceed longer and longer, the more and more likely that entries stop working. And then I do have some limited rules, objective rules to stay out of trades, as well as some very subjective but analytical reasons according to reading the market, where sometimes I choose to skip some trades now as well. So today was a pretty mellow day because there just wasn't a lot of areas where I could trade. once I got my stream started and trading the system, there was a first entry short, second entry short that I wanted to consider because I had this measured leg that I was expecting, first leg down and measured leg, second leg down. I drew this when price was up here, and I wanted to be able to go short under this bar here. But because the close was above the previous day open, I used those kinds of levels as support or resistance, or at least resistance level, kind of resistance levels. So the fact that the close of the candle was above, but the wick was below, I'm seeing a lot of times I can take this trade, but right now it's been a gray area. The one time I took it recently, I lost. Even though the majority of time it seems to work. So I think it's just a slightly less probability trade of working. This one would have worked. It gave a little scare. It didn't get my profit target until this candle. And I also saw this kind of support level. So there wasn't a lot of room. And so I decided to skip that trade. It actually looked a little bit better on a different chart. I forget if it was this chart that it looked better on this chart. This chart set up after the other chart, and I could have gotten in this trade too. This was a clearly defined close below the open, but I just stayed out of it because just again, not a lot of room to the support level that I had drawn, and so I just decided to play it safe, even though I did have this measured move intact. It wasn't clear to me if we would be retesting the high or not today. I still kind of think that maybe this will ultimately retest the high before the day is over, but we'll see. So yeah, no trade there. No trade long on these charts. There was a first entry, second entry long above this bar, really engulfed, so above this bar. But I'm not taking trades into the EMA either. I use it kind of the same as like the opening price, which is the white dotted line or dashed line. So same idea. Couldn't take a trade there, and then this trade set up. So this trade I liked. Had this measured move down that I had there for a while, was expecting it to reach it, finally grinded down and touched it, and then set up a first entry, second entry long. This is a good example of, not using the old Pat's rules. It's not a great signal bar, but I have a perfect measured move reached. You could see it tagging right off of it. And in my experience with my trading system, I can expect a bounce good enough for at least 11 ticks and to get my profit target. So that was a pretty easy trade, kind of a no-brainer. I took that one on PA7. That's the one I'm digging out of the dirt. So only one contract, only $51, but that's what it's going to take to build it back. And then was in some conversation, didn't seem much worth taking. And then there was this first entry, second entry short. I called this trade out. I was looking for it. What I was concerned about was whether this candle was going to close above the previous day high, which is this yellow line. You can see here the high of yesterday's session. And so I was waiting for to see where this candle was going to close before I dropped my order. And right as the candle was coming to a close, it all of a sudden shot down really fast in the last remaining ticks and actually engulfed the bar. So I tried to put an order entry in on PA8, and it just happened too fast. I just missed it when it engulfed, and I wasn't able to get into the trade. And I don't like to get into the trades after the fact, like putting in a limit order in and trying to get in later. So had to just let it go without me. And I think it really just went without me. There was no real opportunity to get in the trade no matter what I did. So it was unfortunate. It was kind of weird. If you go back and look at my live stream, you'll see my order got stuck here on my Apex account. It was kind of worrying me. It said cancel pending, and I couldn't cancel it. I was trying to exit out. I was trying to say close all orders. Nothing was working. It was just stuck there. So I ended up having to disconnect my Apex connection, the Rhythmic connection, and then reconnect it, and then that order disappeared. So I was just really just a heartbeat away from having been in that trade, and that would have been a third win for me on the day. So that was unfortunate to have missed that. And then when I was talking, just talking in the chat, not really paying attention, wasn't really expecting a setup here. We finally got the close of the gap to the previous day close, which is the dashed blue line. And I wasn't paying attention. There was a first entry, second entry above this bar, right off of the previous day close. Those are the kinds of trades I like to take. And that would have worked no problem for my scalp. So I just wasn't paying attention, missed it. And other than that, that's basically when I called it right around 9:30 and stopped trading for the day. So let's see here. Yeah, so 2-0 for the day. Successful day for me. I mean, when you add up all the accounts, it's like, I don't know, about $800 or so. And, I imagine the day that these are all PA accounts, and $800 in a day is going to get the job done for me. That's all I'm going to need across all the multiple accounts, and just keep it consistent, get payouts, multiple payouts per period, and get the ball rolling. So, yeah, I'm happy with the day. A little disappointing to miss a trade like this, or to not be paying attention for that trade that I showed on the other chart off the previous day close. But that's how it goes. And I think that's one of the great things about this opening trade for me is I'm just getting really confident in it. To me, it's a 98% win rate trade. And so the probability is super high of a win and super small for a loss anytime soon. It'll come. The losses will come. Nothing's 100%. And with a strategy like that, a trade like that, you just hope that you get enough winners in a row, enough days in a row, that it gives you a win, that it gets you to the promised land of payouts and passing evaluations. And then, when the loss comes, you hope that the loss is minimized. Either at times where you already got the payout on the account and you're just blowing up an account because you had small drawdown, or when the real loss comes, that you have minimal accounts that are affected, or if you have a lot of accounts that you lose that day, that you have other accounts still in that aren't included in your copy, and those are still there to continue the journey without having to start from scratch. So all these things, concepts, I all take from what I've observed from Alpine Trader. So a big thank you out to him for what he's put out into the world. As far as what he's been doing, because it's helping me and it's getting me to the next level. And then just being able to start my day with that winning trade every day for the last 11 days just really opens up my ability to be calm, collected, take good trades, not feel pressured to take trades, and really, sit out the trades that are questionable and try to take the trades that look rock solid. So it's really just, I feel like my trading game is really evolving really quickly here, and we'll see where it goes. But beware of clickbait. People are putting stuff out in the world and teaching strategies, and they have no proof of performance of actually being able to trade the strategy, yet they think they can teach it. Now, all of a sudden, I saw in her comment, Clickbait's comment last night, on her video, that she says, "Oh, well, I'm actually showing why this isn't a good strategy, and the reason why I'm doing this is to show that I actually don't believe in the strategy and what Alpine is doing, and so I think people shouldn't really be trading this," because she doesn't think that people should be risking their whole account on a prop firm. So she's coming from the mentality of like treating the accounts, the prop accounts, like live accounts, and Alpine is from the complete opposite end. So if you don't even understand Alpine on that basic level, then yeah, you're not going to understand the trade. Trade's not going to work for you. You're going to blow accounts. You're going to get losses because you're not doing what he's doing, and so you're going to lose on trades that he wins on. It's just going to be what happens, and it'll happen enough times that you'll quit. You'll stop taking the trade. You'll say it doesn't work. You'll say, "Oh, I proved it didn't work," if you're Clickbait. And that's her new thing. Since she can't figure out how to make it work, she's got to say that it doesn't work, I guess. So, go to the source for your information if you're trying to learn a strategy. Even though he doesn't show it in every detail, he shows plenty that someone like me can be 11-0 with it right now. So take that for what it's worth, and observe him, see what he's doing, and then forward test it or back test it, but put some effort into it and try to figure it out, and then go from there, and you'll be good. It's not hard to figure out. It's not rocket science. And if a guy like me can figure it out, then anyone can. And just don't try to mess with it too much. Why do people want to mess with something that works? If something works 98% of the time, why are you going to change it? Why are you going to do anything different? That's my take on it. All right. That's it for me today. 80% discount going on. I think it's pretty much the standard best discount you're going to get for most of the year. There's a chance when this ends, it'll go to 71%, which means you'll be paying $15 extra on the 50K. So if you use this code, I appreciate it. You can use this code or any other. I don't care what code you use, just make sure you use a code so you get the best discount being offered at the time. And the discount goes until April 30th. 1 day pass as well is continuing until April 30th, as well as half price resets. And then when that expires, we'll see what the next offer is. This code will still work for whatever that next best offer is. It'll either, I mean, my guess is it either goes to 71% or it goes to 90%. I bet 71%, or it could stay 80% again. They did that last time. So again, 11-0 for the Alp Orb, 2-0 for the week, or 2-0 for the day, 4-0 for the week, 198 wins and 45 losses on the year 2024 for 81%. And you can check out my live stream every single day. I start at 10 a.m. Eastern to approximately 12:30 Eastern, which for me on the West Coast is 7 a.m. to 9:30. And not showing the open trade on the live stream. I see that Alpine is live streaming now during that time. He's just not showing his orders. I think that's really smart. I think that was a good choice by him, letting his audience be in on the trade as far as experiencing whether he wins or loses in real time. And you can see his P&L going. You can hear his orders being entered and exited, but just not giving out the exact orders. I do think with 17,000 viewers, he's really smart to not put that out there and show the exact entries, because 17,000 potential viewers, subscribers, all with potentially 20 accounts. You could see how that can be a problem for Apex. But the way he's doing it now, I don't foresee, in my opinion, why it should ever be a problem for Apex to change any rules based on what he's doing. So no matter how many of us try to do the trade ourselves as well. So, because they'll all be different. And like clickbait proved yesterday, there's plenty of people that will mess with the strategy and do it different, and they'll lose when the rest of us will win. So, that's all I gotta say. If you want to learn the strategy, go watch Alpine Trader. That's my recommendation. Don't try to learn it from me. I'm not here to learn, or I'm not here to teach or show anyone how to do any trades. I'm not trying to take advantage of the fact that I know how to do the trade and it's working for me. I'm not trying to be clickbait and put it out there in a way to grow my channel and get thousands of views. I'm simply trying to use it to finally become a profitable trader, which is what this whole journey is all about for me, and putting it on YouTube. I'm just documenting my journey, like it says up here, on Apex Trader Funding, and showing, if I can be a unprofitable trader and if I can turn myself into a profitable trader, and just recording it all here on YouTube. So very much in the same way, honestly, that Alpine did it. I started watching him in June, and he didn't have, he had around 4,000 subscribers, I think I remember, and was just new to futures, and slowly he got his first payout, and then he blew up accounts, and then he got another payout and blew up accounts, and then got some more payouts and blew up accounts. And then he's gotten, steadier and steadier with his consistency and became a really profitable trader. And, if you go back and watch all the videos, it's all out there. It's all there. You can see his trajectory. And it'd be cool if I have even a fraction of that amount of a trajectory that he had. So that's what this is about. And I appreciate everyone that's coming and checking it out and joining me on the journey. I appreciate all the likes and subscribes I've been getting recently. That's really great. And down below is the link in the description if you want to get more information about Apex. And I think that covers it all for today. So I appreciate it. I'm not trying to be a part of the drama. I'm just trying to comment my opinions on what's out there. And I just really, Alpine is a source. The guy he taught how to trade and is live streaming it. He's pretty decent at it. I'm seeing what he's doing, but he's tweaked it. He goes for 15 ticks, so he's going for less, but he's adding more contracts, and so he's actually lowering the probability of his trades. I don't know if he understands that or realizes it, but I'm going to say it and put it out there. That's exactly what he's doing. When you go to 5 contracts on the trade, you're lowering your probability of a trade working, because you're not giving yourself enough room for the trade to work against you. And so for the rest of us that are trading smaller, the trade can work against us. We can have room to add contracts to the trade. We can work out of it, end up with a winning trade. And that's why, someone like Alpine is probably 98 or 99% with the trade, versus someone like that, I'm sure his win rate is less. So, all right, I've definitely said it all. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be back at it live streaming at 10 Eastern. And again, I might do what Alpine is doing as far as live streaming like he's doing it, but I kind of see no need. Honestly, if you want to experience the open trade and learn how to do it, go to the source. Go watch Alpine Trader. That's my recommendation. Why go anywhere else to learn how to do something? And I'm right now living proof, 11 days in a row, that he doesn't have to show you exactly what he's doing. And you don't need anything more than what he's already put out there to figure out how to do the trade and be successful with it. So, take that for what you will. I'm only 11 days in. We'll see what happens, but I'm off to a good start with it. All right. Definitely said it all. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow.